Hi, this is Colin from the History Pilgrim. I'm glad to see that there are more subscribers. I have another historical video. I hope you enjoy. Theme parks are more than just places to ride roller coasters and eat cotton candy. They are delightfully crafted worlds designed to transport guests to realms of fantasy, adventure, and nostalgia. From the grand spectacles of early fairgrounds to the highly immersive experiences of modern theme parks, this global industry continues to evolve and redefine itself. In the world of modern theme parks, it is easy to imagine roller coasters, merry-go-rounds, and Ferris wheels as the defining elements which spurred the growth of these establishments. However, the true catalyst for the creation of these massive and extremely popular recreational centers may surprise you. The invention which led to the growth and popularity of amusement parks was the expansion of electric trolley cars. This mode of transportation, which was invented in the late 1800s, transformed the way people reached entertainment. Before the invention of the electric trolley, transportation was limited to horse-drawn carriages and steam locomotives. This severely limited how many people were able to access leisure destinations. The invention of the electric trolley offered cheap and reliable transport. This ushered in the modern era of the commuter. One unintended consequence of the electric trolley was its limited use on the weekends when people would stay home. In order to make a profit out of the limited sales, trolley parks began to pop up in more populated regions of the U.S. Cedar Point in Sandusky, Ohio, stands as one of the most famous amusement parks in the world. Originally beginning as a small picnic park on the shores of Lake Erie, the park struggled with attendance until the construction of a regional rail line connected it to the nearby city of Cleveland. With the surge of traffic like never before, the park owners began to acquire roller coasters in order to help draw more visitors. Today, the park has the largest collection of roller coasters of any theme park on Earth, with over 20, giving it the nickname the roller coaster capital of the world. Atlantic City, New Jersey played a role in innovating the concept of a major amusement park, and would later influence places like Disney World. By the early 1900s, Atlantic City was known far and wide for its beaches, resorts, and luxury hotels. The most significant innovation introduced by Atlantic City was the creation of Steel Pier, an iconic amusement pier that opened in 1896. Steel Pier was not just an ordinary pier, but a full-fledged amusement park destination. The pier, originally designed to keep tourists out of the sand, featured horse races, thrilling rides, live concerts, and games. The park became a mecca for families throughout the region. Locations throughout the U.S. and the world would follow in the success of Atlantic City. Places such as Santa Monica Pier and Blackpool Pier in England would establish their own boardwalk amusement parks. Every summer, visitors from cities like New York City, Washington, D.C., and Philadelphia would arrive by train to make a yearly pilgrimage to Atlantic City. Hotels, concert halls, and casinos would spring up to help make money from the hordes of tourists. This set the standard for places like Disney World and Las Vegas. Today, the Boardwalk Resort at Walt Disney World Resort in Florida draws heavy inspiration from these locations from a bygone era, and walking along it offers a modern-day recreation of it which is hard to find anywhere else. For decades, trolley systems were the lifeblood of these parks. However, the shift to the automobile ended up changing the dynamics of these places. Theme parks needed to find new, innovative ways to stay competitive. There was a shift towards building huge parking lots to accommodate cars from people who could drive to amusement parks from further locations. This led to even more visitors than ever before. After World War II, the rise of the automobile and the suburban boom led to the demolition of the trolley and rail lines, which had been the lifeblood of pure amusement parks. As families had the ability to travel far inland, larger and more spacious amusement parks were built further inland. As years went by, less and less people began flocking to places like Atlantic City. And today, developers continue to buy out the few that remain to clear them for more profitable coastal properties. Disneyland was one of the first theme parks to capitalize on the success of the automobile. Given how far Disneyland was from most Americans, Walt Disney would begin a search for a location on the East Coast to build a new Disney park. Walt Disney chose the inland citrus-growing city of Orlando, Florida. Known for its year-round sunny climate and cheap land, the Walt Disney World Resort, which is the world's largest privately owned resort, opened in October 1971. Walt Disney World is not just a theme park. It is a vast empire the size of a small country. It contains its own roads, police force, and even has the right to generate its own nuclear power, which is an idea the park once toyed with. Today, the resort employs over 75,000 people, making it the largest single job site in the US, and it is a significant force politically in the state of Florida. The construction of the Walt Disney World Resort led pretty much overnight to a frenzy of hotel construction in Orlando, as well as highway and later air transportation to the city. Orlando is now the 5th most visited city on Earth. While the Walt Disney theme park was primarily focused on creating magical experiences that catered to families, other parks were quick to reinvent themselves. Unlike Disneyland, a Texas business owner, Angus Wayne Jr., focused on a more accessible regional approach to theme parks. The first of his parks to open was named Six Flags Over Texas. The park had themed areas based on the 6 countries which governed over Texas. Unlike Disney's approach of building one massive resort from scratch, Six Flags sought to buy out struggling local amusement parks. While the Disney parks focused primarily on immersive theme lands and attractions, Six Flags focused on thrilling rides. By the late 1990s, Six Flags had become one of the most famous companies in U.S. history. Due to having over 20 separate amusement parks nationwide, Six Flags would end up buying rights to Looney Tunes and DC Comics to help draw more visitors to their parks. The extreme popularity of Six Flags led to its inclusion in the 1999 PC game Roller Coaster Tycoon. In Roller Coaster Tycoon, players managed and financed their own amusement park. The game's developers included actual Six Flags park locations in the game, which players could manage, including famous roller coasters from Six Flags' own parks, which you could purchase. The race to build taller, faster, and crazier attractions led to a frenzy of roller coaster construction to build local fan bases throughout the US. Traditional wooden roller coasters with their rickety old-fashioned designs began to lose appeal to younger generations in favor of sleek steel rides that could push new boundaries of speed, height, and inversions. Steel with its flexible design allowed for quicker and sharper turns and higher speeds. In 2005, Six Flags Great Adventure in New Jersey opened King to Ka, a roller coaster which redefined boundaries in height, standing at over 450 feet. The roller coaster starts with a hydraulic launch to over 128 miles per hour in under 3 seconds. While earning world records for being the fastest and tallest roller coaster ever built, the attraction is not without its issues. The ride's extreme height and speed make it prone to very frequent mechanical breakdowns and shutdowns due to weather conditions which other smaller roller coasters do not face. For most of the company's history, Disney's theme parks were not known for high-speed roller coasters. With attractions like Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Space Mountain, and the Matterhorn bobsleds, the Disney parks have gained a reputation for building very tame roller coasters. However, by the early 2000s, the Disney company realized they needed to modernize their approach to thrill rides. Facing competition from Universal's Islands of Adventure, which debuted the Incredible Hulk roller coaster, Disney sought to create a roller coaster which would combine intense thrills with storytelling. The result was Expedition Everest: Legend of the Forbidden Mountain, which opened in April 2006. When Animal Kingdom, the 4th of the Walt Disney World theme parks, opened in April 1998, the park lacked many big attractions. Expedition Everest featured a journey into the Himalayas involving a cursed mountain and an animatronic Yeti. The roller coaster, which cost a staggering $100 million to build, set a world record for the most expensive roller coaster ever built. While innovative and groundbreaking, many theme parks still harken back to their trolley day roots. In conclusion, the evolution of early trolley parks, from modest picnic parks to full-fledged hubs of adventure that we know and love today, is one of innovating pre-existing leisure and making use of public transportation to increase their appeal. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe for more history videos. Sincerely, The History Pilgrim.